favourites because kind of lots of different experiences. It was great coming over here and filming in Utah last year, and that was a really good episode to do. And we all had a lot of fun doing it, and just kind of filming in a different country with different people is always fun. But the one that was kind of the most challenging and kind of rewarding to do was The Girl Who Waited, because me and Kaz got the chance to flex our acting muscles a little bit, and it was a good kind of development for our characters. So and it was quite tough as well. It was a tough location. Like one day we were filming in a coal refinery, in a factory, and all of that scene outside where she's made her kind of little home with Rory Bott inside. All that whole scene we had to dub our voices on afterwards, because there were these massive coal grinders that were on, which was nice. Next to us, just going all the way through the whole. Hello, right? That was it all the way through. So I actually couldn't hear myself speak, and we ended up just kind of shouting, and the sound guys just went to the pub. There was no point in them being there anymore. So Bryn went to the pub, which was nice. And so we had to redo all, and that's really hard. I find it really difficult because you have to match exactly what your mouth's doing. And because we didn't have any sound to kind of match it to, we were just kind of making it up. But I don't know, it's one of those weird things. You kind of watch it, you don't really notice, but it takes quite a while to get that right. And just I find kind of acting in a sound studio quite difficult, kind of cold when you're not in the situation you're meant to be in. So that was tricky. But in terms of story, my coffee's alright. Thank you very much, Barbie.
The stories will get better now.
Yeah, they will get better. I'll just start speaking faster. Thank you very much. That was my favourite episode to do. I thought Karen did a really good job in that as well. Kind of, when you see the subtle differences between her kind of portrayal of the old Amy and the young Amy. I thought, especially when you see them both together, I was amazed by it. So, that was good. Cheers. I used to not watch it when it was on. And I got better. I think it's a vanity thing with that. You kind of it's a strange psychology, because you work and you pretend to be someone else, obviously. But it can be quite damaging in some way. I kind of hate it, really. I don't watch Confidential. I can't watch myself at work. I find that really, really disturbing and odd. But it used to be that I'd watch kind of bits of it on iPlayer, or like kind of on the internet after it had been on my own in my room, kind of nervously laughing, crying, just going, what is my face doing? This is awful. But I suppose you kind of get used to it a bit. Well, I don't really like watching it on a big screen. Like the screenings are kind of torture. Me and Karen watched The Girl Who Waited at Tom McRae's house. He wrote the episode, but he invited lots of his friends round. So we were sitting there in a room full of people we didn't know, watching ourselves on TV. It was awful. And we were like, there was no chairs, so we were just sat on the floor in front of the TV, just going, this is weird, I don't like it. But probably just going to go. Radio 4, which I grew up on. I grew up listening to, and I've always had a hankering to be on it. I listen to it every night before I go to sleep, and get up and get my news from it and stuff. And they do lots of kind of radio drama stuff. So I started getting into the Doctor Who audiobooks, which are great fun because I can't talk and drink coffee. Which is great fun because you get to do lots of basically lots of stupid voices. Because you read all the characters and you read, everyone and try and do bad impressions of everyone. So that's fun. And then more recently, been getting into do radio drama stuff. But which I'm really excited about, because I'm a big Who fan, not Doctor Who, the band, The Who. I just recorded a radio play about Oliver Reed and Keith Moon. and I played Keith Moon, so that's going to be on the radio soon. But that was a lot of fun to do. But again, acting in a radio studio is one of the hardest things in the world, because you have to face the microphone, so you can be standing next to another actor and you're not really allowed to look at them. You just have to play everything to the microphone, and I kind of ended up looking like this. We can't hear you. So that's true. Yeah.
You're so close to everybody.
Yeah, well, it's kind of amazing. I kind of grew up. It's always been my dream to be on stage, and it continues to be. I find it the most rewarding part of being an actor, and it's what I'm trained to do. So after the last series, Doctor Who finished filming, I was really yearning to get back on stage and do some more theatre stuff. And normally in the theatre, it's the lights go down and you're kind of lit up on stage. It's all very moody, and the atmosphere is kind of created quite a lot for you. But at the Globe, where I was doing Faustus, it's all open air, and it's the most amazing building. It's completely different thing to get your head around, and it's quite terrifying because you're sharing the same light as the audience, and you have to work a bit harder to create kind of believable worlds. But I really fell in love with it, and getting an immediate response from an audience was amazing. And at times you milk it, which is quite dangerous, and you just try and play gags and make people laugh because you know that you can do that. But then it ruins the play. So I learned very quickly to stop doing that, because I don't like you doing pants or something. But yeah, it was a really good experience, and the character was so far away from playing Rory, which I think I needed to get my head back in order after filming for 9 months. Absolutely terrifying. To be around, when we first saw, because we didn't really know what they were going to look like before they walked into the studio, so that was pretty freaky. And they're massively tall, and they just look how they look, and they are terrifying. But it's great. The guy who plays the main Simon is this Dutch guy called Marnix, and he's great, and he talks like this, and he's so enthusiastic, and so it kind of dispels any kind of fear, because he's there, and he's brilliant. He's the most amazing physical actor that I've ever come across. But he's so happy all the time, so that kind of makes you less scared of them when you're there. But you just got to get used to it. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose there's always going to be similarities. With someone, we look the same. Just about, he's a bit less hairy. And, we talk kind of fairly similar. So yeah, there has to be elements of yourself in a character who's, your own age. And, unless it's like a big kind of other character. And also playing it for so long, kind of obviously bits of yourself, but it's kind of exaggerated. But, I'm not as, I don't really analyse this. But
well, if any of your personalities that bleed through, did you have any say into how you was a person?
Well, I don't think that much of my personality is particularly in there, just in terms of the choices he makes and the way he reacts to things. But in terms of the development of the character, when I got the job, there was very little to go on, and they didn't really know what they wanted. So I turned up with an idea, because he wasn't really meant to be that kind of awkward at first, and I don't know. I got a tip from an actor when I left drama school, which was to every audition go and make a really bold choice, even if it's the wrong choice, to go and kind of just at least make a choice, because that'll it'll help you, and maybe you'll be noticed more. And so the kind of awkward thing I kind of just did in the audition, or at least kind of pulled that out of the script more than it was there, and they seemed to like that. So I think that was a development that kind of came from discussions that me and Stephen had. But they're very good. I don't know. I think once I imagine for writers, when you start writing for a character that's already established, or an actor that you know, that you
You get to a point where they see you and you're in their mind.
Yeah. So it's kind of a different thing when you get a script, because you know that kind of you've influenced it slightly. But I would never take the credit for the character.